I wanted to bring up this topic. I think that it is a polarizing topic in the producer community. There's a lot of dope producers who are giving their side of the story. And I just want to give you guys my side and just start a conversation about what the issues are and what can be done, if anything. I did a tweet and I posted it up on Instagram. I just got one of my YouTube videos demonetized because someone is claiming the copyright of a royalty-free sample I created. Anyone else deal with this? I think I saw DJ Payne 1 talk about this. Let's start the convo. I put this up on Twitter and I put this up on IG. And if you look at the comments, we got a ton of comments of dope artists, dope producers, legends, everything. Lots of people talking about it. A little bit of background. My video editor uploaded one of the videos to YouTube. It was one of the videos where I showed how to do something in Ableton, and I used a melody loop, which is royalty-free from Drums That Knock Volume 7. All of a sudden, I get an email saying that you don't own the copyright to this loop. It's my loop from Drums That Knock. It's this mainstream song that claimed the copyright to it. It got millions and millions of plays. I looked it up. I decided to post this. I wanted to see what the current conversation is. It's no secret that right now, the Content ID system in YouTube is broken. As a technology, Content ID is really good because what Content ID does is it can analyze any song in YouTube and it can pay out a royalty based on the ad revenue generated from that video. So if I were to use a song from, let's say, J. Cole in one of the videos, YouTube isn't going to take that video down. It's going to identify the part of the video that has J. Cole's song. It's going to serve ads to my video, and then that money is going to go to J. Cole's label or whoever's in charge of the publishing and every aspect of the monetization of that song. So as a technology, it's great. In practice, the problem with it is if I use a sample that's already been claimed by a record label or by an individual, the money that should be in my pocket from the monetization from the YouTube video is now going to that other creator. So something that I'm the original creator of, something that I own the copyright of, is now going to somebody else. I'm not talking about this to complain about my video getting demonetized. I'm talking about this because this points to a bigger issue in the music producer community. There's a couple sides to it. I know DJ Payne 1 has been someone who's been talking about this. I know Illmind has been someone who's been talking about this. There is a distinction in the conversation that I want to make clear. This is not an issue between royalty samples and royalty-free samples. Some people have been talking about this like this is why royalty-free samples are bad. Not true. There's two artists. One puts out a royalty-free sample pack, and one puts out a royalty sample pack. If you look at the clause on most royalty sample packs, samples that charge a royalty, what they say is if you get placed with a major label using that royalty sample, not a royalty free, it becomes a situation where you'd give a piece of publishing to the creator of that sample. Totally fine. If multiple people use that sample from that sample pack that's being sold in that producer's store, the only difference is there's going to be multiple royalties from that same loop being paid to that creator. No problem. It's just a different way of doing things. Now you have another producer who releases a sample pack and it's royalty free. The difference between those two packs is the royalty free sample pack. Any producer who downloads that pack can use that sample without paying a royalty to the creator. So if you download a loop from Drums That Knock, for example, and you use it in your record, you don't have to pay me a royalty, even though I'm the copyright owner of the sample and the creator of the sample. From a composition standpoint, when you create a song with a sample from Drums That Knock, you still own that composition, but I own the copyright to the sample. Either situation, you can't claim that sample. That's actually not legal, but yet YouTube Content ID enables that to happen. So it's something I wanted to talk about that's a problem in the community. It's something that we actually can't do much about because it's the YouTube system that is creating this mess. But in YouTube, if they claim monetization on your video, you have a right to dispute it. Remember, if this happens to you, if you use a royalty-free or even a royalty sample on one of your tracks, and there's some other artist who uses the same sample that claims it, if that happens, you can go into your dashboard and you can dispute it. While the system is broken at the moment, there is recourse. So there is stuff that you can do. And if you look at it, the music industry has been in a transition for a while. I think this is just a manifestation of just us as creators and, the systems at play trying to figure out a way for it to be fair, for it to be truly helpful. I think blockchain is going to be a part of the transformation, but it's moving very quickly. Ever since the Napster era, where record labels were hurting bad because music was being downloaded left and right on Napster, and people were getting free music illegally. Nowadays, streaming is better because at least while artists are not getting paid a big percentage, when you stream music, there is money being exchanged, and it's for a monthly fee. So that was a great advancement from the Napster era. With that said, I think that we're all still trying to figure out the best way to make it all work. And I think Content ID overall is a good system. It's just in application, it's hurting a lot of independent creators. In the meantime, you have the option to dispute if someone else is claiming and monetizing your YouTube video. Have any of you guys been demonetized? Have any of you guys had any kind of experience with this? What are your thoughts? Some people want to make this a royalty versus royalty-free sample issue. It's not that. It's absolutely just not that. It's an issue of the Content ID system not correctly interpreting copyrights. Some people might ask, is it a bad idea for me to download a royalty-free sample? Can I still use these splice samples? Can I still use these drums at knock samples? Can I still do all this? I say, keep doing your thing. Keep downloading samples and using them. It's really no issue. If YouTube does something like that, where they demonetize your video, just dispute it. Okay, Wonk's Bass said he had it happen one time. He disputed it to YouTube, and that cleared it up. Yep. The bottom line is, if you are the copyright owner of what you played on your stream, you are the copyright owner. So if someone else is claiming copyright on your sample that you own, that's an infringement of your copyright. Bullyfinger said, anybody who says not to use a royalty-free sample or splice generally has a competing product and they have an inherent bias. It might be true. Here's the thing. I have no problem with royalty samples. There's a lot of dope producers out there who release royalty packs. So basically you download their pack, and if you use a sample and it gets placed, you have to pay that creator. That's fine. That's a business model. And, to any producer who releases packs and wants a royalty, I think that's totally fine. And there's situations where I think that's a good idea. No problem with that. There's absolutely no problem with that. But, for people like me releasing royalty-free packs, there's no problem with that either. It's all what you choose to do. For me, I like to make my packs royalty-free. So when I come out with a Drums at Knock pack, you can just use it however you want, and there's no need to come to my management. I don't need to give you a percentage. There's no need. Too many people are, making dope stuff with all the combined elements of the packs I put out. I'm not interested in collecting royalties, but for those of you who are, that's fine too. But don't knock the royalty-free route, because I think there's value to both.